The chief of Uganda's defense forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has given U.S. Ambassador William Popp until Monday morning to apologize or leave the country. It is not clear why Kainerugaba, who is President Yoweri Museveni's son, issued the ultimatum to the ambassador, although this week the United States sanctioned 4 Ugandan police officers for human rights violations. On Friday, Kainerugaba took to X 3 times to say Uganda was about to have a serious confrontation with Popp for disrespecting our beloved and celebrated president and for undermining the Constitution of Uganda. 5 hours later, Kainerugaba tweeted again, saying if Popp did not apologize to the president personally by 9 a.m. Monday for what the general called Popp's undiplomatic behavior, the government would demand that he leave. Speaking to VOA, Sawanyana Livingstone, director of the Foundation for Human Rights Initiative Uganda, said Kainerugaba has no authority to declare Popp persona non grata unless he is appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs. Sawanyana said Kainerugaba's comments should be dismissed. He needs to calm down. He needs to understand that Uganda is not him. Neither is he Uganda, Sawanyana said. Uganda will always be there. Sanctions are not the functions of an ambassador. They are issued by the State Department. So, I think he is even targeting the wrong person. I think Ugandans need to call him to order. It's high time. On Wednesday, U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said 4 Ugandan police officers had been sanctioned for gross violations of human rights. These included torture and cruel, inhumane treatment and punishment. The police officers were identified as Bob Kagarura, Alex Mwine, Eli Wumenya, and Hamdani Twesigye. The State Department said reports of the violations as documented by Ugandan civil court documents, civil society organizations, and independent journalists were serious and credible. Ugandan authorities did not respond to requests for comment. A report released last month by the African Center for Treatment and Rehabilitation of Torture Victims, or ACTV, noted that torture cases in Uganda were on the rise despite laws against the practice. Herbert Sam Sabuga, executive director of ACTV, said the organization was concerned about the situation in Uganda. The situation is not as good as we want it to be, Sabuga said, because just halfway this year, we have made 903 cases. So, it's still really an issue. In 2023, monitors in Uganda recorded 1,235 cases of torture, with the Uganda People's Defense Forces and police as top perpetrators. The 4 designated officers in April 2020 raided a Ugandan legislator's home, accusing him of violating the regulations put in place to control the spread of COVID-19 as he distributed food to vulnerable communities. According to records produced in court, the legislator, Francis Sake, was arrested and detained at the Defense Intelligence and Security Headquarters, where he was tortured before he was left at a hospital. He later sued the 4 officers, and a court awarded him $20,400. In response to VOA questions on Kainerugaba's threats, the U.S. Embassy in Uganda quoted State Department spokesman Miller as saying the embassy, the ambassador, and the U.S. government were continuing to work directly and normally every day with Ugandan authorities on a full range of issues. Miller said in accordance with U.S. law, the United States was committed to supporting justice for victims and accountability of those involved in human rights violations around the world. This, he said, includes denying or restricting travel visas to visit the United States for individuals when there is demonstrated evidence that they have committed abuses.